Let me say this right out the gate because a lot of men need to hear this. If you think you're getting mixed signals from women, you're not confused. You're just listening to the wrong data. And that's the problem. Most men are trained to treat words like truth, texts, explanations, reassurance, friendly talk. So when the words sound good, they assume progress is happening, but nothing actually moves. You get replies, you get long conversations, you get warmth, you even get compliments, and yet you're still stuck right where you started. That's where the frustration kicks in. You start asking yourself questions that never end. Did I say something wrong? Is she nervous? Is she busy? Is it timing? Should I give it more time? And the longer you sit in that loop, the harder it is to see what's really going on. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. Mixed signals aren't confusing. They're just words pointing one way while behavior points another. And men keep wasting time because they focus on what sounds good instead of what's real. And time is the one thing we never get back, brother. You feel chemistry, you feel something during the interaction, you walk away thinking something clicked. But comfort can feel good without desire ever being present. And while you're trying to figure it out, she's getting attention without giving anything back. No risk, no commitment, no cost. And that dynamic benefits her, and it does nothing for you. And most men never question it. They try to reason their way into being wanted. They ask for explanations. They look for reassurance. They hope consistency will eventually change things. It doesn't, because interest doesn't leave you confused. When it's real, it shows up in behavior. It shows up in availability, follow through, effort, kissing, sex. Anything else is nonsense. In today's episode, I'm going to break down why mixed signals are a filter, not a puzzle. Why words are the weakest signal you can rely on. Why friendly behavior gets overinterpreted, and why maybes keep men stuck longer than a straight no ever would. We're also going to talk about how to test interest without guessing, without decoding emotions, and without getting pulled into time-wasting dynamics that go nowhere. And by the end of this episode, you'll know exactly what to watch for, exactly what to ignore, and exactly when to walk away, because that's the best thing to do. We're going live, baby.
We'll do it live.
You're listening to the premier podcast for men who want to not only be better with women, but want to be better men in general. This is the Come On Man podcast. And here's your host,
Paul Bauer.
Paul Bauer. He is a certified master life coach and NLP practitioner.
It's true. It's damn true. 5 times, baby. 5 times. Woo! You guys see that? 5 books, baby. We knocked that out this year. Guys, it's New Year's Eve. Instead of a lazy end of the year review episode, I thought I'd give you guys some actionable information. If you are new to the channel, my name is Paul Bauer. I help men level up and get better with women. And the funny thing about doing that is it tends to make us better men in all areas of our lives. Now, a lot of guys are still confused by mixed signals heading into 2026. So I figured we should handle them so that you guys can get more tail than a toilet seat in this new year. All right. Can I get a hell yeah? Can you guys smash that like button for more tail than a toilet seat? So the first thing I need you guys to know is that the concept of mixed signals is a complete myth. It's a myth, guys. Mixed signals are what guys think is happening because they're following the wrong information. They're getting the wrong data. Okay. They're listening to what women say as opposed to watching what women do. Okay. And that's the biggest thing. because guys, the mixed signals come from women saying one thing and then doing something completely different. And it frustrates the hell out of guys. And they're like, I don't know what's going on. Okay. Well, that's because you're listening to what she's saying and paying attention to what she's doing. But if you just pay attention to what she's doing, those actions never lie. And we're going to get into that more. By the way, guys, if you are new to the channel, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and hit those notifications. I do have new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So we sort of talk about what mixed signals are, right? It's where words point one way and behavior points the opposite way. And this usually shows up where women sort of act real friendly with you. They act like they might be interested. And then you're like, oh, cool. Like, I'm going to ask her out on a date. And then she can never find time to go out with you, right? It's always like she's always there to get that validation from you, but she's never available to actually go out with you. Or she's able to go out with you, but she's never able to go back to your house for some hanky-panky. You know what I mean? Or you going for, you guys get the point. You guys get so frustrated with these chicks because you're like, she's sending all these mixed signals, right? But that's because most of you guys are fixated on her words, right? You guys are like, well, she says this, but she does this. And this is what, this is why I'm frustrated. Because you're paying too much attention to her words, right? You're trained to treat spoken language as truth, right? And it's a lot of that's because that's how men communicate. Typically, for the most part, men say what they mean, right? At least we try to. We say what we mean, and we try to be men of our words and stuff like that. Although a lot of women complain about mixed signals for men too, because a lot of men are doing this kind of crap, because a lot of men are raised to be defective women nowadays. But let me ask you guys this, okay? You guys that are watching live right now, have you ever had a woman say she liked you or enjoyed talking to you, but her actions never went anywhere? Right? Let me know in the chat or in the comments, or if you're watching the replay, drop a comment below, okay? If you guys are listening on Spotify, you can leave comments on Spotify too. A lot more people have been commenting on Spotify lately. I appreciate you guys. So why should we just pay attention to actions? Okay? Actions never lie. Actions never lie. I talk about it in Everything I Wish I Knew When I Was 18, right? Acta non verba, actions over words. Okay? If you just pay attention to a woman's actions, her actions will never lie. It will tell you everything you need to know. It'll tell you if she's interested or not, and that's all you have to pay attention to. Now, if her words match her actions and she's congruent, even better. Okay. But don't rely on her words. Pay attention to her actions, and then you'll never have mixed signals because her actions will never give you mixed signals. All right. But here's the thing. There's an attention trap. It's to women's benefit to give you mixed signals, right? Because women enjoy the attention, and she'll keep you engaged without moving anything forward because she gets all this validation from you. Okay. Attention is coin of the realm in girl world. So the more attention you give her, the more free attention and compliments and all that kind of simpy crap that a lot of blue pill guys tend to do and a lot of recovering nice guys tend to do. She's getting all sorts. She's getting her emotional cup filled with all your attention and validation, and she's giving you nothing in return. Okay. This is a big reason why long distance relationships are pointless, right? Long distance relationships are really just glorified pen pals. And one of the things that in my holy trinity of dating books, from one of my mentors, Dr. Robert Glover, he says in Dating Essentials for Men that when it comes to like long distance relationships, a lot of men like to get into those because they're playing it safe, right? They don't want to get rejected by a local girl. So they just keep this texting train going with this relationship that's really not going anywhere. And thing is, that woman usually has a dude in her local area, and she's getting all this free validation from you. You don't even get to smell her perfume. You get absolutely nothing out of that relationship, right? So one of the things, like I mentioned before, mixed signals, right? Actions over words. I talk about this a lot in Everything I Wish I Knew When I Was 18. I highly recommend, if you guys are frustrated with women, frustrated with the dating circuit, get this book. It'll put you on game.
Tired of wasting time on dead-end dates and attracting the wrong women? You put in the effort, but end up with dates that go nowhere, or relationships that fizzle out before they even start. You're tired of it. Dating shouldn't feel like a never-ending chore. And you know deep down that you're capable of attracting a woman who sees your value. The problem? You haven't been taught how to attract the right women and keep them. What if you could date efficiently, quickly filtering out the women who aren't right for you, and instead attract high-quality women who are genuinely interested? What if, when you found the right one, you knew exactly how to maintain that attraction for the long haul? With everything I wish I knew when I was 18, you'll learn exactly how to master the dating game, how to identify and attract high-quality women, how to weed out the ones wasting your time, and how to keep that attraction burning in a long-term relationship. This isn't about playing games. It's about developing the confidence and mindset to naturally draw the right women to you, while keeping the spark alive for years to come. Don't waste another day chasing the wrong women. Grab your copy of Everything I Wish I Knew When I Was 18 and start mastering the art of efficient dating. Find the right woman and keep her.
Indeed. We got a bunch of people in the chat this morning. Nurse Chick double texted me here, but we're just going to play this one. Good morning, gentlemen. Happy hump day. Nurse Chick gets this one.
I'm so naughty.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna come.
Yep.
That pussy must be ridiculous.
It is absolutely ridiculous, guys. Dividend Gypsy is in the house, patiently waiting for transmission to begin. Happy to be back in the wolf pack. Good to have you back, brother. Welcome back to the pack. By the way, if you guys used to be in the pack and you left for whatever reason, you're always welcome back in the pack, okay? You're always welcome back. Would love to have you back in there. If you guys, were in the pack for a while and you got what you thought you needed and then you're still struggling with stuff, come on back. Come on back to the pack, man. Smashing like is alpha. That is a fact. Thank you, brother. Dar Fitness also says there are no mixed signals when you've read the scouting report on women. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Erkin says, good day, folks. Good to see you, man. Oh, shit. We got a $10 super chat out the gate, guys. Be like Basio El Mucho here. This is brother Ed, Shreddy Eddie. He's a legend in the wolf pack. $10, and women can't even rhyme like wolf packers. That's right. We had a relatively new guy in the pack yesterday. He's making rhymes, right? Well, that's Shreddy Eddie's bit. You know, Shreddy Eddie rhymes everything, and I go, you guys need to have a rhyme off. Anyway, Eddie gets this one.
Shame this horse.
Yes, we're going to shame these whores today because they're giving us mixed signals, right? Dividend Gypsy also says, yes, it's common. It used to be caught up in what she says and not what she does. Yeah, if you eliminate that, you eliminate all frustrations. That's really what today's episode's about. Eric Von Erich says, good morning. And then he also says, I got one who used to be serious about who's breadcrumbing me. She's been reclassified as a plate. That's right. Don't be afraid to demote these chicks to plate, guys. Don't be afraid to do that. I've seen it both ways. Once had a woman say she didn't want to have any fun. Her friend did, though. Then magically she did too. So we all did together. Watch what they do, not what they say. That's right. Isn't it amazing? Like sometimes women won't even know that they're attracted to you until you have another woman in the picture. Then all of a sudden, magically, you're this attractive guy. Isn't that amazing, guys? What is that? Oh, right. It's called pre-selection. Okay. So these women that are giving you mixed signals, I like to classify those types of women as manipulative time wasters. All right. That's one of the 4 types of women you find typically out in the dating circuit. Okay. Like it's something I learned from the late, great Alan Roger Curry. You have 4 types of women out there. You have rejectors, you have reciprocators, you have manipulative time wasters, and you have wholesome pretenders. Okay. And my favorite are reciprocators and rejectors because they don't leave you guessing. Okay. But manipulative time wasters are the ones that most guys are finding frustrating because they are the ones that are usually giving you mixed signals. They're using you for your time, attention, and money and giving you nothing in return. We had a guy in Wolfpack. Well, he's still in the Wolfpack. He just hasn't been participating that much lately. He was talking about this at this Colombian chick that he was into, and they had been seeing each other for like 3 months and they hadn't had sex yet. and he was like, I don't know what's going on. She seems like she's really into me, but every time I go to escalate things, she shuts it down. She's a fucking manipulative time waster. Stop listening to what she says. Pay attention to what she does. If she's not banging you, that tells you everything you need to know. You're wasting your time. It's time to cut her loose and find yourself a reciprocator. A reciprocator is a chick that you go to initiate contact. She's like, thank God, because I'm into you too, right? There's reciprocation there. Rejectors are great because you go into, make a move and they shut you down. They go, I'm not interested. Perfect. Thank you. You're not wasting my time, right? But manipulative time wasters will keep you on the hook, have you thinking that they might be interested, but their actions are always showing you that they are not really that interested, right? And if she wanted to, she would. If she really wanted to, she would, okay? Any woman who is truly interested will make herself available, okay? A good way to know what's going on, if you're ever confused for whatever reason, if you're like, I'm feeling like I'm getting mixed signals here, okay? Use the Brad Pitt test, or probably more accurately in 2026 would be the Henry Cavill test, right? If Henry Cavill asked this chick on a date, would she give you a bunch of excuses? Would she give you a bunch of wishy-washy, maybe bullshit? Or would she say yes to the date and then figure out her schedule afterwards because, oh my God, it's Henry Cavill? All right? If she's not doing that for you, she's not that into you, okay? Now, a lot of women hear this, they're like, yeah, but you're not Henry Cavill, okay? To the right woman, you are Henry Cavill. Okay, to the right woman, you are Henry Cavill. It's one of those things where all the stuff that we talk about when it comes to game and like texting rules and all this kind of stuff, women who have high interest in you, all the rules go out the window. They will make things happen. They will open doors for you. They will make it so easy for you that there is no guesswork. So if a woman is making you feel like there's all these mixed signals, that tells you everything you need to know. Okay. Rolo says it as the medium is the message. Okay. She's telling you everything you need to know. Stop listening to what they say. All right. By the way, guys, be like Shreddy Eddie. And if you find value in these episodes, do consider sending a super chat. That does help support the show, probably more than anything else. And I do this full time now. So, I'm shucking and jiving out here on the in the subway system. I'm out here busking for you for a couple of ducats. Send your boy a couple of ducats. All right. Texting is not progress. A lot of guys will do this kind of stuff, right? Most people these days are addicted to texting. So they'll get these text conversations going and they'll keep those going for days, sometimes weeks at a time. And guys think that they're building rapport and connection on texting, and they're trying to basically build up the courage to ask this girl on a date, but they're like, oh, I need to get to, or she needs to get to know me a little bit better. At least that's what they say, right? And some of these women will even tell you that, no, we need to text a little bit longer so I can get to know you. You cannot get to know someone via text messaging. You absolutely can't. Okay. You can only get to know someone in person, where you can see their body language, you can see their facial expression, you can hear their tone, all that kind of stuff, right? That's the only way you're truly going to get to know her. Stop wasting your time texting. But women love this. They love texting because it's a dopamine hit. That's one of the reasons why you're addicted to it, right? Anytime you get that reply notification, dopamine gets released in your brain and you're addicted to this. Like, oh my God. And this is why, like, when you send a text message and you haven't heard back from her in several hours, you develop all this like anxiety, like, oh my God, did she ghost me? Oh my God. And then 3 hours go by and you're, screw you, bitch, fuck you, and all this stuff. And then she finally texts you and you're like, oh my God, the love of my life. And then you go back to that kind of crap, right? Well, the thing is, this is why if you read Everything I Wish I Knew When I Was 18, one of the things I tell you is don't waste a whole lot of time texting, especially if you're meeting these chicks on dating apps, okay? Banter, no more than 10, 15 messages max before finding a segue at a high point in the conversation to set a definite date, to find a segue to ask her when she's free to get together, okay? And then set a definite date and they get the fuck off the app. Stop texting. You don't want to be texting. And a lot of guys think, oh, well, if I don't text all the way up to the date, she's going to forget about me. That is not true. That is not true, especially if she has high interest in you. Okay. So stop texting so much. And then like the day before the date, you can confirm a date. And there's ways of confirming the date that doesn't come across as needy. All right. I talk about it in the book, but that's it. Okay. Texting is for logistics. Now one might argue, Paul Benjamin did an episode where he's like, texting isn't just for logistics. It's about creating an emotional buy-in. Sure. Okay. Sure. I'll give my boy a nod to that, right? You do want to build up enough emotional buy-in to get her invested enough to want to go on the date with you. But otherwise, it's for logistics only. You don't build up, rapport and stuff and connection by constantly texting all the time. A lot of guys ask me too, they're like, okay, well, when can I start texting her all the time? Like once we get into a relationship? No, it's the same when you're in a relationship. You don't want to be texting all the time. You want to save conversations for when you're in person, okay? Your grandparents never had, they didn't have these things in their pocket to constantly be in contact with their wives or husbands. And they actually missed each other at the end of the day. Okay. So attraction grows in space. It dies in close proximity. If you're constantly texting, when you actually meet her in person, you have nothing to talk about. So save conversations for when you're in person. Now, all that texting, it creates this illusion of chemistry. And it sort of feels good, right? It feels good, but it doesn't equal desire necessarily, right? You're giving her a lot of comfort, and that comfort is, what creates, that the friend feeling, right? It's you're not creating any kind of sexual tension typically with texting. Now, a lot of guys will try. They're going to try to send dick pics, and they're going to try to send sexy, try to do some sexting or whatever. But that's not really doing anything for you, right? You're still going to sit there with your meat in your hand, not actually having sex with an actual woman. Okay. So stop doing that kind of crap. So less texting, more fucking is really what I'm trying to get here, guys. By the way, follow me on social media. The links are in the description. I'm on all the good platforms again, including X. You can follow me at bestmenspod on X. Okay. I have like 160 followers now. It'd be cool by the end of the day to get up to 200 followers. That'd be sweet. I love when I'm restarting a new platform, because people that hate my content on those platforms, they're like, oh, look, you don't have any followers and no one's interacting with your posts. You're a loser. And I'm like, you think this is my only platform? Like I have almost 110,000 followers on Facebook, man. Like stop it. Just stop, man. Come on. People love me. What real interest looks like, right? Real interest doesn't leave you guessing. Okay. She shows up for the date. You set a date. She actually arrives at the date. She doesn't flake on you. Okay. She doesn't give you a bunch of fucking excuses. One of the guys in the pack the other day, he set a definite date with this chick, and she just straight up canceled on him. She goes, I'm going to go ahead and cancel our date. Thank you very much. And she didn't offer any time. And so he replied back like, okay, I appreciate it, whatever. And he goes, I think I replied to that respectfully. Like, you don't have to reply to that kind of shit respectfully. Okay. If a woman cancels on you and doesn't give you an alternative time, she doesn't deserve a response. Okay. No reply is a reply to that. Okay. Fuck that chick. Okay. You don't owe her anything. Right. But if a chick cancels, she goes, oh, I can't because, whatever came up, but can you do it like on this day instead? Okay, cool. No problem. Right. But if she does that again, don't even reply to that shit. Because real interest isn't, she's going to just keep canceling on you because better options come up. You know what I mean? Like if she's really into you, you are her best option, and she's going to make it happen. She's going to show up for the date. She's going to do what she says. Okay. It doesn't leave you guessing. It doesn't leave you guessing at all. But a lot of women, they do this kind of stuff, right? Because mixed signals, they benefit women. It benefits a woman to keep a man on the hook in guessing, because it keeps her options open. Right? Women, we talk about it in the space, like you got to spin plates. You got to date multiple women, right? You got to date multiple women, because most guys aren't doing that. Most guys are immediately exclusive with the first girl that's nice to them. They go all in. They stop talking to other women. And when this woman like ghosts them or doesn't show up or just wants to text all the time and they're getting mixed signals, they're so invested on this one woman that they stop looking for better options, right? Well, women don't do that shit. Women, I say men spin plates. Women just call it dating. This is how women date typically. They keep their options open. And so they might say a maybe to you because they're hoping that Greg from accounting is going to ask her out and set a date for Friday. You know what I mean? So she's giving you a maybe because she's holding out for Greg. Well, Greg didn't ask me on a date. So yeah, I guess I'll go out and let you buy me dinner, right? Like that's what women do. So them keeping you on the hook benefits them. It doesn't benefit you at all. Okay. So you need to cut these bitches loose quick. You need to cut them loose quick. And a lot of guys, this is going to be a short ass episode, guys. I am like burning through these. Oh, that's because I skipped this whole thing here. Okay. Well, we'll get back to that here in a minute. Right. A lot of guys, they're going to be chasing explanations too. Right. And a lot of guys will, I mean, this is what the pack is good for. The pack is better for this because the guys in the pack will tell you everything you need to know. They'll say, hey, this interaction is going. I'm feeling a lot of mixed signals. What do you think, guys? And everyone will be like, drop her, bro. She's not interested. Right. But if you go back to her and try to get explanations or try to get clarification, you're basically trying to negotiate desire at this point. And you can't negotiate anyone into wanting you. You just can't do it. It's physically and it's just impossible to do that. So chasing explanation, it just puts you at a lower position. Her actions are telling you everything you need to know. You don't need any explanations. All right. By the way, I did mention getting into the wolf pack. So guys, this is 2026. If you want to level up, if you want to get better with women, it's time to join the pack. It's time to swap notes with other guys that are absolutely killing it out there. Beer club? Not anymore.
Wolfpack, you fix what's broken. You lead like a man again. No pity, no therapy. Just fire, just frame. Cold bed, broken home, midlife drift, feeling alone. You don't need hacks, blogs, lies. You need men with fire in their eyes. We rebuild from the ground up. No excuses, no soft stuff. Telegram lit 24/7. Brothers locked in, steel, not heaven. Step inside the pack. We don't fall, we attack. Truth, fire, presence, we bring it back. Masculine pride, no time to slack. Step inside the pack. Drop your past, claim your track. No therapy talk, no playing small. We sharpen blades, we take it all.
All right, guys, I'm just trying to clean up my notes here because I'm like, crap, I totally skipped over a whole section here because, you know, I'm supposed to be a professional podcaster, but what am I even doing with my life? Anyway, guys, give me a 2 sweet for that one. And don't forget, smashing like is, in fact, alpha, okay? If you are trying to be an alpha male, just start by smashing that like button. Okay, so the things I missed were why men overinterpret friendliness, right? So men mistake warmth for intent because they want a positive outcome. Okay. So a lot of guys, they develop, Christopher Canwell calls it chronesthesia, right? In NLP, we call it future pacing. But basically, a guy sees a girl and she's beautiful and gorgeous. And all of a sudden, he imagines this future version of himself in this relationship with her, making love to her. They've got 2.5 kids. They've got a 4-bedroom house with a white picket fence, and they're imagining this whole life with a chick that they really don't even know yet, right? Guys do this kind of shit on dating apps. They see a chick on a dating app, they reach out to her, she starts talking with them, they're immediately in love, right? So men sort of start developing, like creating a story in their minds about what's happening here. And if a woman is even remotely engaging, they're like, oh, she's into me, bro. She's into me. Now, I'll tell you what, it's not necessarily a bad thing to assume a woman's into you, though. Okay. It's better to assume that she's into you than assume she isn't. And a lot of guys who are afraid to approach women is because a lot of them will talk themselves out of it. Oh, I'm bothering her. Oh, she won't like me. Oh, she won't give me the time of day. I won't even bother. Okay. But the guys who do well with women just assume that she probably likes them or she wants to be talked to or whatever. And they'll walk up and confidently talk to her. And the thing is that being more confident when you do that is more likely to make her like you, because women respond to confidence the same way that men respond to a great pair of tits. They're wired for it, right? So it's okay to assume that women like you, but you still want to pay attention to their actions. Okay. Like if you go to ask for a date, you say, hey, when are you free to get together? And she doesn't give you a straight time, she probably don't like you. You know what I mean? Like it tells you everything you need to know. But if you ask her, hey, when are you free to get together? And she gives you some times that she's free, that's a sign of interest. Okay, cool. Now you keep moving forward. Okay. It's one of the things where Dr. Robert Glover refers to it as the 3 levels of testing. Okay. When you are interacting with a new woman, you're basically going to take her through 3 levels of testing. Level 1 is just getting the conversation going. That's how you open, however you're going to open. If you're at the supermarket, it's great to ask a woman's opinion on products or, anything like that. Women love to give their opinions. So just ask them like anything like that. You don't have to have a clever pickup line. On dating apps, there's different ways of doing it. If you guys join Wolfpack, you have access to 20 dating app openers that are guaranteed to capture a woman's attention in the first 7 words. Okay. You can use those. One thing I used to like to do is I used to like to look through a girl's profile and, find a picture and then guess what she was thinking in the moment of that picture. Right. So I'd say, hey, picture number 2, it looks like you're worried that you might have left the toaster on or some shit, or you look like you're worried that the garage door might still be open or whatever. It doesn't really matter because most guys aren't doing that kind of stuff. They're saying, hey, beautiful or whatever. And you gotta be able to capture her attention so that she'll at least reply to you. And if you make an assumption about something, women will either say, yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Right. Or most often or not, they're like, oh no, I wasn't thinking that at all. Right. They're going to be quick to correct you. And now you got a conversation going, which leaves you into level 2 testing, which is just banter. It's just banter and rapport, right? This is where you're going to tease her and tell her what to do. Okay. That's how you test for interest, by teasing her and telling her what to do, mostly telling her what to do. Okay. And then level 3 is you have to require something of her. And most guys quit testing at level 2 because they're too afraid to move things forward. I had a one-on-one dating client for a long time, and he was deathly afraid of moving things to level 3. And he got really good at level 1 and 2 testing. He was able to approach women and get conversations going. And then he would quit. He was like, I'm going to quit while I'm ahead. And he would never get any dates. And he was always frustrated. I'm like, you've got to move it to level 3 testing where you're requiring something of her, right? Give me your number. Okay. Hand her your phone and say, give me your number. You seem like a cool chick. Let's get together for drinks sometime. Give me your number, and hand her your phone. Right. On a dating app, you need to say, you seem like a cool chick. When are you free to get together? And then when she tells you, great, meet me at this place at this time. Okay. Set the date. You're going to get more yeses if you tell her what to do and where to meet, and if you have a plan. And then one thing I would also do after that is, after she agreed to a date, I would say, you know what? I hate these dating apps. Give me your number. And I would tell her, give me your number. And she would send me her number. And then I would move things off the dating app. Okay. That's another test of interest. But that's really what you want to do. You want to, 3 levels of testing, and you want to test for interest, right? Now, here's the thing too. Maybes are not better than a straight no. And I have that here on my notes because when I was a kid, right? When I was a kid, I used to come out here to Grand Junction for the summertime, and I would hang out for the summer with my grandparents, and my cousin Sean lived here in town. And he and I would go over to the rec center across the street from his mom's house. And we would go swimming there and talk to all the girls, right? Talk to all the girls our age and whatever. And there was these 2 girls that we were chatting up one time, and we got their phone numbers, and we're calling them from my grandma's house, and we're talking to these girls. And Sean asked this girl, like, hey, you want to get together for whatever? And she goes, maybe. right? Maybe. And my cousin was all excited about it. He's like, well, maybe's better than a straight no. No, the fuck it isn't. Okay. If she wanted to, she would. Maybe is wishy-washy bullshit. Okay. So it's not better than a straight no. Okay. Don't do that kind of stuff. If a woman gives you a maybe or any kind of wishy-washy answer other than yes, I'll meet up with you, or yes, this is the when I'm free, you need to give her what's called the takeaway, right? And this comes from sales. It's something I learned from Corey Wayne, but it's also something that you learn in sales too. You give her a takeaway, okay? That's where she gives you a wishy-washy answer, and it's not a straight yes or no. And so you basically just take the offer off the table. You go, okay, well, it sounds like you don't know what your schedule's like. Maybe we should do it some other time, right? Take the offer off the table. A lot of times women will give you a maybe type answer because they're scatterbrained, and sometimes they'll do it as a shit test. Okay. A takeaway will sniff that out, because if she's really into you and she gives you that kind of bullshit wishy-washy answer and you give her a takeaway, she'll figure things out quickly. She'll go, oh, you know what? Never mind. I could actually make it work. Okay. That's a test for interest. If you give her a takeaway and she goes, okay, yeah, sounds good, let's do it some other time, that tells you everything you need to know. Okay. She doesn't want to meet up with you. It's not mixed signals. Her actions are saying, I'm not interested in meeting up with you. Drop that bitch. Okay. You need to cut that bitch loose and move on to the next woman. Okay. And that's where you want to be able to walk away. All right. If you're willing to walk away, you have so much more power in the dating market. Okay. A lot of guys just don't realize this. Okay. The strongest negotiating position is being willing to walk away and mean it. Michael Yon said that. Okay. Rollo Tomasi says it as the person who needs the relationship the least has all the power in the relationship. Okay. It's the cardinal rule of relationships. You want to be that person, the one that needs this the least. But a lot of you guys are thirsty. A lot of you guys are needy. A lot of you guys are lonely, and you're trying to make it happen with this one girl. But if you take the mentality of sniper dating off the table and you start focusing on spinning plates, it's easy to walk away. It's so much easier because you're like, whatever, there's always another woman. There's 4 billion women on the planet. All right. You have to have that abundance mindset if you're going to be successful out there on the dating market. And it comes with realizing that you have all sorts of options and to cut loose these chicks that are wasting your time, right? These manipulative time wasters. So don't be afraid to walk away. All right. You need to develop some emotional discipline with some of this kind of stuff. Okay. Your job isn't to sniff out her feelings. Okay. Your job certainly isn't to fall in love with this chick. Like I said, a lot of guys develop this like love at first sight and they start future pacing with these chicks. You need to stop doing that kind of stuff. Stop developing a story about these chicks. Okay. And just observe her behavior. Just observe her behavior. Okay. I want you guys to realize this. You only have 5 jobs. 5 jobs when you're out there dating. Your job isn't to get into a relationship. Your job isn't necessarily to, make something happen. Okay. Your job is to facilitate fun and fuck. Okay. And your job is to test for interest and test her ability to follow your lead. Everything else. All right. You don't have to decode her feelings. Okay. Her actions will tell you everything you need to know. She's either fucking you or she's not. Right. So remember, you have 5 things to worry about. The 3 F's: facilitate fun and fuck, test for interest, test her ability to follow your lead. That's it. Don't overcomplicate this stuff and treat it like a science experiment. Okay. Just observe, collect data. The things that you're observing are her actions, right? And then mixed signals completely go away. And that changes your whole mindset when it comes to the idea of mixed signals to more of a filtering mindset. Okay. Mixed signals, they're not some kind of puzzle that you need to figure out and solve. They're telling you everything you need to know. You're filtering out the women that have low interest and you're sticking with the women that have high interest. You're going to walk through open doors and you're going to stop banging on closed ones. If a woman is leaving you guessing, if you get the hint that she's giving you missed signals, okay, that you need to filter those chicks out. Okay. They're manipulative time wasters and you need to cut them loose quick. All right. Being good at dating is about efficiency. It's about finding the reciprocators, right? And not wasting your time with wholesome pretenders and manipulative time wasters. Now, what's a wholesome pretender? I don't think I didn't quite answer what a wholesome pretender is. A wholesome pretender is sometimes a reciprocator will first show up as a wholesome pretender, right? They'll be like, you go on a date and she'll be like, we're not having sex tonight, right? All right. That's a wholesome pretender. She's trying to make you think that she's a good girl. Okay. But for the right guy, she's going to put out. You know what I mean? You just have to be charming enough to have her, lower her guards. And she's going to be like, okay, yeah, I'm totally going to put out. Right. That's a wholesome pretender. Okay. So as long as you handle shit tests okay and you're charming or whatever, and you give her some plausible deniability, a lot of the times the wholesome pretenders are actually reciprocators. Okay. You won't know that right away. The way you'll know that they, what they are at all is if they're reciprocate enough to want to go on out with you or come over to your place, whatever you want to do. Some guys are like, no first dates. It's just come over to my place and bang. Like, that's how we do things. Like, however you want to do it. I actually like dating. So, whatever. I'm not going to tell you there's only one way of doing things. But you want to have that filtering mindset, basically. It's mixed. If a woman's giving you mixed signals, you're watching her actions and her actions are telling you everything you need to know. It's a filter. Okay. She's not it. She's not it, bro. She's not it. Cut her loose and focus on the chicks that are showing high interest. Okay. That's all we're doing here. Oh, super short episode. I guess that means drinking starts early today, guys. So I guess I just want to wrap this up by saying that when interest is real, you don't need a translation. You don't need to ask a whole bunch of questions. You don't need to post in forums. Like yesterday, for instance, right? I got a sponsored video, and I'm happy for you guys to sponsor a video. If you guys want to ever do that, it's video.comeonmanpod.com to ask a question that I'll cover on the air. But my man yesterday was basically in the friend zone of this chick, and he was frustrated by it because mixed signals, right? That's really what it comes down to when you're stuck in the friend zone and she won't, you go to make a move and she doesn't show any interest and she says stuff like, oh, I don't want to mess up the friendship. That tells you everything you need to know. Okay. So stop being it. You won't ever be in the friend zone if you stop listening to what women say and start paying attention to what they do. Okay. So actions are way more clear every single time. Act in non-verba, actions over words. All right, guys. That's all I have for this New Year's Eve episode. I really appreciate everyone that supported the show this year, everyone that bought books, everyone that bought courses, all my Wolfpack brothers. I want to wish you guys a very happy new year, and let's make 2026 the best year ever. 2025 was pretty wild, wasn't it? Like, just to recap, since that's what a lot of content creators are doing, the recap. We'll talk about all the shitty things that happened this year, right? My dog, I had to put my dog down in January of 2025. A good mentor and friend of mine in the space, RP Thor, died a couple months after that. In July, I got laid off and forced into retirement for my IT job. But that was actually a blessing because I've been wanting to do this full time for a long time, be a content creator, author, and men's coach. So now I get to pursue that dream full time now. So a lot of that kind of stuff happened. I got banned from X, completely banned from X. I had 14,000 followers, banned from X erroneously, and I can't get that account back. And they're still charging me. All that kind of stuff was pretty wild. I got demonetized twice on Facebook, and the last time was a 90-day demonetization, which is wild. I'm trying not to get demonetized on Facebook because they're my biggest following, so they're also one of my biggest paydays. You know what I mean? So trying to watch my P's and Q's over there. But 2025 was wild. 2026 is gonna be fucking awesome though. 2026 is going to be the year. Brother John's in the house. He says, Happy New Year, y'all. Yeah, Happy New Year, brother. All right, guys, that's all I got for this episode. Tune into the podcast on Friday. It will be the first official podcast episode of 2026. I might get a sponsored video tomorrow, but I haven't gotten one yet, so we'll see. You know, sometimes those come in the same day. You know what I mean? But Friday's episode will be the first full-length official episode of 2026, and I thought I'd kick it off with some motivation for the year. And I'll be reading the book, The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale for you. It might be a longer episode, which is good because it'll make up for this short-ass episode. But it's going to be well worth it, okay? The Strangest Secret was originally released as a record, so an audio recording record back in 1956. And the information in it still absolutely applies today. I'll be reading the hardcover edition, which is adapted from the record. So it has some minor differences, which is kind of fun. But I think you guys are really going to enjoy it, okay? One of the things that he points out in there is that, you know, only 5 people out of 100 by the time they're 65 have really truly led a successful life. And most people haven't. Most people just sort of tiptoe through life hoping they make it safely to death. And he addresses what those top 5 people have that the other people don't. And you guys, I think, are really going to get some value out of the episode. So be sure to set your calendars, hit those notifications, guys. And subscribe if you haven't done so already, because Friday's episode is going to start the new year off right. That's all I got. We'll see you guys in the new year.
This has been the Come On Man podcast. Now, go out and get it.